Hello, and welcome to the Sonoma County Vintners and Sonoma County Vintners Foundation Community Conversations. My name is Madison Garzoli, and I'm the Membership and Foundation Programs Manager. I am delighted to introduce you all to one of our fantastic beneficiary partner, Executive Director, Melissa Kelly. She is with the Sonoma County Regional Parks Foundation. So thank you so much, Melissa, for being here. We are so excited to get this conversation started.
Hi, Madison. I really appreciate you inviting me today. And as you know, the Sonoma County Regional Parks Foundation, we are a nonprofit organization that is separate from and independent from Sonoma County Regional Parks. And our specific purpose is to raise money to help our fantastic 58 Sonoma County Regional Parks and the programs that happen in the parks. So I'm really looking forward to speaking with you today.
Yes. And, I thought that this was perfect timing too. The weather is getting, fantastic here in Sonoma County. Spring is coming. We're on the verge of, the mid to mid 70s here, and it's just beautiful weather. So I thought, what a better benefit, an amazing beneficiary partner to talk to. So I'd love to kind of start off by, you giving an overview for our audience just about what you do. I know you briefly just mentioned the amount of parks that you support and that sort of thing, but really kind of give a picture for our audience of a day in the life of Sonoma County Regional Parks Foundation employees. So I'll hand it over to you to kind of talk about that.
All right. Well, as you know, the days in all of our lives are quite a bit different now because of the pandemic. And the pandemic has had an incredible impact on our parks. So one of the things that we're seeing, if you've been out in our parks lately, you know that that's where people are going. It's really, really busy in Sonoma County Regional Parks right now. And, that's not surprising because so many things have closed down and people are stressed, and the parks are a place where people can go to rejuvenate themselves and to release their stress and to tend to their mental health and their physical health. And those are roles that our regional parks is playing right now. It's really, really important for the community. So, in terms of the data we're seeing, the park usage is up 40% over pre-pandemic levels. Some of our parks are seeing 2 and 3 times as many visitors as they saw before the pandemic. So, this is just, people are recognizing that the parks are a place for them to go and take care of themselves. And parks are also so important during this time because this is a place where you can go and you can behave in ways that are very safe. You can distance from each other, you can wear masks, you can be outside, and you can still socialize. You can still see your extended family and your friends. So this is an important role that our parks are playing in the community during the pandemic. What this means for the Parks Foundation is that we're recognizing that people really value these open spaces. And the Sonoma County Parks Foundation, every year, we contribute hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants to regional parks, and particularly for things like maintaining the trails, which are very heavily used right now, building new trails. So, many of us, we're out in the parks and we're having this experience of, gosh, it's crowded here. And, we want other people to be able to enjoy the parks, but we also kind of want the parks to ourselves. So it's nice to know that there are more trails coming, especially, Taylor Mountain. We're going to be building out more trails. 8 more miles of trails are coming up Taylor in the coming years. And we also are building trails at the Bodega Bay. We're improving the trail at the West County Trail. So these are all things that the community is saying to us, we value these spaces and we want to see more of them. The Parks Foundation also helps with acquisitions and with taking spaces that have been purchased to become regional parks and helping regional parks prepare those for public usage. So that's kind of a few of the ways that the regional parks and the foundation have experienced the impact of the pandemic.
Yes, and you guys have done a fantastic job. I know firsthand, a week or so ago, I went out to Foothill Regional Park, and it is, just amazing. The trails look great. I have to say, the weather is fantastic. And so that just makes it even better. But the safety protocols too that are in place for COVID-19, expanding awareness of the different social distancing practices, the mask wearing, just what people can do in order to get out and experience these beautiful settings. And like you said, it affects their mental, physical, emotional health, and they're just great spaces to be. So you guys have done a fantastic job. You've continued to do it year after year, and it's the work that you do is so valued in our community. So thank you for all you do there. So it's really amazing.
Well, and you know, the other thing that's happening is we're coming up on the summer season. And what that means is kids' summer camps. And obviously those are having to look a bit different during the pandemic. Regional Parks is offering summer camps and is specifically looking at the COVID safe precautions. So things like smaller groups of children staying together for longer periods of time. And the Parks Foundation is always, always pleased to help support Regional Parks efforts with the summer camps. And particularly, we raise funds from the public for something called camperships, so that we can make sure that every family, regardless of their financial situation, can have the opportunity to participate if their children want to be able to go to summer camp. So that's one of the other things that is coming up in this particular time frame at our parks.
I love that campership. That is very cute, and love the accessibility to every family in Sonoma County to be able to participate.
So important.
That is the most important. You know, we have a lot of vulnerable communities in Sonoma County, and so having that probably, you know, relief for the families is just huge. So that is amazing, and I honestly did not know that. So that is a fun new tidbit for me. Kind of talking on the same thing as, you know, children's camps. You had recently had a virtual launch party of the Red Tail area in Taylor Mountain. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe go into some historical context of our partnership with that? That would be fantastic.
Absolutely. I am so happy to talk about the Red Tail Play area. So first and foremost, a big thank you to the Sonoma County Vintners Foundation for being one of our main sponsors of the Red Tail Play area. You and other individual donors and foundations came together and contributed $250,000 to the Parks Foundation. And that was combined with funds from Sonoma County Regional Parks and from the Measure M sales tax to help make the Red Tail Play area possible. And the Red Tail Play area really reaffirms the Parks Foundation and Regional Parks commitment to providing open spaces and outdoor recreation for people in all areas of Sonoma County. So this play area, people, those who are watching, who are interested in going there, I really encourage you to check it out. It is so much fun. And it is located at the Petaluma Hill entrance to Taylor Mountain Regional Park, which is in southeast Santa Rosa. And those familiar with our community will know that before Taylor Mountain, there really were not a lot of parks in this area. There weren't a lot of outdoor recreation opportunities for families in those communities. We're really happy that Taylor Mountain has changed that. And the Red Tail Play area is providing a space for those families to go and have just an amazing experience with their kids. So you and I both know that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I brought a few pictures today. So I'm going to share my screen here.
Great.
Looks like we're starting at the end. Okay, there we go. And play. So here's an overview of the play area. You can see here we have a climbing structure, and there are actually a couple of these climbing structures. And we have the embankment slide built into the side of the hillside. And I always like to tell people it looks a little bit kind of short in this picture, but having been somebody who has been up here at the top going down, I can tell you it looks much less short from up here. And one of the things that's different about this play area is it was really modeled on the concept of a natural play area. So you will see a lot of features. You know, we have wood and we have grass and the ground and using the side of the hill, and we have rocks and, you know, all natural features that feel very appropriate in this outdoor park area. Here's our basket swing is what it's called. And one of the other things that's interesting about natural play areas is that they tend to be spaces where people of all ages feel comfortable playing together. So I happen to know this family quite well. And it's just so much fun to see the dads and the moms, climbing into the structures with the kids and having a good time, or going down the slides. I've been on the slide myself. I've seen other parents going down the slides. So it's just really, really a fun space for people of all ages. One of the things that this play space does is it encourages kids to use their large motor skills. So it's good for healthy activities for growing bodies. And, here we have a girl who's exercising her muscles, exercising her arms before she gets to go down the slide. And it's another vision of all the different things that you can see from this play area. So we've got the climbing structures in the background and going down the slide, which looks a lot longer from up here.
Yes, I was just going to say that definitely looks a little more daunting than the picture before. So
I also learned the hard way that it's pretty fast now. So depending on who's going down the slide and what they're wearing, you can go flying right off the end of that. And then this is another one of the features. This feature is called the nest. And kids can take sticks and build their own nest around the eggs. And I've seen lots of children having a good time sitting on the eggs, and it promotes imaginative play, which is just another one of the things that's a feature of natural play areas. So that is just a little glimpse of the natural play area. And again, that the location is at the entrance of the Petaluma Hill entrance to Taylor Mountain Regional Park and Preserve, which is just south of Yolanda Avenue on Petaluma Hill Road.
I think it's just fantastic. I mean, it looks beautiful. The natural landscaping of the entire play area is fantastic. And I love that you kind of touched on how the different areas benefit children, adults using, their fine motor skills, and, just getting out there and exploring creativity and all of that. I think that is so important. And I know I have a niece and nephew that are twins, and they'll be 10, and they've already visited there. They love it. They have so much fun running around. And so it's a fantastic area. I'd love, to talk about kind of where maybe some projects are coming up, or maybe in the future, near and maybe far, some things that you guys have worked out, and just learn a little bit more about the future projects.
Absolutely. So the other thing I wanted to make sure to thank the Sonoma County Vintners Foundation for today is you've helped support our efforts with climate adaptive fire recovery. And, we're all pretty tired of the fires, but it's also important to know that Regional Parks and the Parks Foundation, with your help, are working really hard both to help the parks that have been affected by wildfires recover in a climate adaptive way, and also to be well prepared for the future. One of the programs that I am really, really proud of is the Youth Career Pathways program. And this actually relates right into the fire recovery issue, because Regional Parks is hiring young people, many of whom have overcome adversity in their lives, and giving them work skills, giving them work readiness skills, giving them training on particular tools and how to do things in the parks, and exposing them to career pathways so they have the opportunity to learn about potential jobs in the future. And then some of the things that they do are, for example, they go out and they help create shaded fuel breaks. So a shaded fuel break, you probably are seeing this more and more in our parks, where particularly at the borders between the park and a neighborhood, you're going to see trees where the trees are trimmed up so that they don't have limbs that are brushing the ground, and the vegetation has been cleared, and the area basically is prepared in a way so that if there is a wildfire that comes through the park, when it gets to this particular area, the fuels have been cleared, and there's less of a likelihood that that fire is going to continue to go from the park into the neighborhoods.
Mm.
And that's one of the examples of the projects that this youth crew is working on. And the Parks Foundation provides significant funding for the work that they're doing. Of course, we've been through the Tubbs and Nuns fire in 2017, the Kincaid fire in 2019, and the Glass fire in 2020. And one of the things that regional parks has really become a leader in is this concept of climate adaptive recovery. So it used to be, maybe there would be a wildfire every 40 years or something. And unfortunately, that hasn't been the case recently. And regional parks is recognizing that the park infrastructure traditionally is wood-based, much of it. So we have footbridges that are made of wood, and we have retaining walls that are made of wood, and we have signage that's made of wood. And if there's a potential that another wildfire might come in through that area in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, it doesn't make sense to keep replacing these things with wood. And so regional parks is looking at metal bridges or bridges with cement footings with stone wrapped around them to protect the footings, or retaining walls that are made of stone, or signage that's made of metal. And these are all helpful in terms of making sure that the infrastructure will withstand potential fire threats. The other thing that I think is really on the leading edge is regional parks is looking at what can we do to make it easier so that if there is the threat of wildfire, the firefighters are well prepared when they go into the park. So right now we're fundraising for Hood Mountain. And, of course, Hood Mountain has burned a second time. And one of the things that's coming up, that's a good example, is a backcountry bathroom that got burned during the previous fire. So rather than just building a bathroom, Regional Parks is looking at how can we add a water catchment system? How can we add a closet for firefighting tools so that if there's a threat in the future, that the firefighters get to this location and there's water there and there's tools there and things are ready for them to be able to get to work right away. So anything that we can do to make their jobs go more smoothly, obviously that's important to us. And these are the kinds of things that the Parks Foundation is helping to provide support to regional parks to do.
I think that's so fantastic and incredibly important. Anything we can do to prepare for any sort of circumstance is amazing. And so the fact that the foundation is really thinking through what you can do for the regional parks and help mitigate things so that they don't exacerbate or completely destroy an area. Or so I think that is amazing. And also touching on your youth program, it's so important to our organization to educate the youth in our community just so that they're aware of how the land should be cared for, how to, like you're saying, work preparedness, being able to go into the community and have the skills to contribute to Sonoma County. And so that's an incredibly important program. And I think your contributions to that are amazing. So thank you, really. You've given us so many thanks throughout this short conversation so far, but really we would like to thank you because you are in the community working with regional parks, you and your team, your board, your volunteers, really making this change happen. So we are so appreciative of you and the work that you do and are glad to be longtime partners of yours and hope to, continue supporting each other in the future. So
Thank you for that, Madison. And thank you to the Sonoma County Vintners Foundation for all of your support of the Parks Foundation and throughout our community. You really do so much. And for viewers who are interested in learning more about the Parks Foundation, our website is sonomacountyparksfoundation.org. sonomacountyparksfoundation.org.
Yeah,
wanted to articulate that clearly.
Well,
it's been
yes,
a pleasure speaking.
They have a fantastic website, some really great visuals on the park. So definitely if you have a time to check it out, it is a beautiful site. Obviously going and checking out the parks in person would definitely be better, but you can definitely look at it from the comfort of your home. So I just want to thank you again, Melissa, for joining me today. This has been a fantastic conversation. I know I've learned quite a lot today, and I hope that our viewership has as well. And I look forward to, continuing these conversations in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day, Madison.
Thanks, you as well.
Bye.